All right, people, welcome to the Specialcast. That's what I'm going to call it. Came away on the spot.
He
And
really did. We did not rehearse this at all.
yeah, no. So, welcome to the Specialcast. Specialcast number one. What's this gonna be
Yay.
about? Well, it's gonna be a podcast where we delve into things that we don't usually talk about in the normal podcast because it's too long.
We're gonna talk about politics.
Oh God, no.
Oh,
I already see enough of that on Facebook. I don't need that shit
I
here.
know, man. I hear you.
So we're basically going to make this podcast like focus on a simple thing. Like there's not gonna be any news. It's just gonna be a topic. It's just gonna be topics that are gonna be like super huge that we can't really fit in on the usual podcast. Examples being the Legend of Zelda topic that we had a few weeks ago. We did not finish that. We filmed two parts and it's still not done. We're
There's
around.
just a lot, dude. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a lot to talk about, which is not a bad thing.
yeah. And in case you don't know, if this is the first video you pop into, I'm John S.
And I'm Eric.
And we're going to continue the podcast. Like, if you want to know what we're talking about, I'll probably link the other two podcasts on the description,
Hmm.
and you can watch those first two horrible podcasts. You can just probably I'll probably just put the timestamp for the part of the video.
Hmm.
That way, they don't have to go through the old news.
That makes sense.
Yes. So we're gonna continue on with where we left off, which was Twilight Princess. And I know this one is like your favorite, right?
Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Just because this was also the one that I got with the Wii when it first came out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then later down the road, my brother also got it on the GameCube, and I didn't even know they were mirrored up until he's the one that started playing it. He's like, "Why is it going backwards?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And that's when we figured out it was actually mirrored. But yeah, this was one of my favorite games, just because it literally is a sequel. I think, right? It's almost literally a sequel in a form to Ocarina of Time, because it's just like, they talk without trying to, well, can't really talk about much of it without spoiling too much details, but you'll notice that there's a reason why you actually will see and kind of trip you out when you find out that the original, there's like fan theories about who the person is that is teaching you all the sword techniques is. I'll leave it at that, but I won't go too much details into it in case people haven't played it, since it did just re-release on the Wii U.
Mm-hmm. So, well, I want to say you're correct, but Wind Waker did that as well, didn't it?
Wind Waker did do that as well. You're absolutely correct. Yes, but Wind Waker did it in a way that I liked it as well. Where, again, try not to spoil it, but where they visit Hyrule, and it's, I'm just like, oh my god, this is Hyrule. But yes, Wind Waker did it, and then also Twilight Princess did it in the sense where there's someone in there that fan or people are saying was someone from Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to say that without actually spoiling anything.
Well, it's not like it's really this huge thing that you will be able to spoil.
You don't think so?
No.
Then you go ahead and say it so people can yell at you in case it is a spoiler.
All right. So, spoilers about Twilight Princess. Hmm. Yeah, I really don't want to bring up any.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather not be given shit for it. I mean, I'm a stout believer that uh, there's stuff that people won't play.
Mhm.
There's so many things like that can be consumed. So like if you spoil something, you're going to spoil someone. So I'd rather not spoil anyone.
Yeah, this is like me. I mean, what's that show? The Walking Dead has been out forever, and I've never watched an episode. And then eventually, I want to, but if someone spoils it, then I'll be pretty mad about it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's not fun. Spoilers suck if you're really looking forward to something,
Right.
or like when you just don't know about it.
But dude, I'm very happy about my. I mean, okay, so I'll tell you another thing. And I think me and you have talked about this off the podcast before, obviously. But I have Twilight Princess HD. I still haven't played it. I was so. I know. I was so infatuated with just the fact that I had the Wolf amiibo,
Mhm.
Wolf Link amiibo. Dude, that thing is beautiful. So that's like the only reason I really pretty much got Twilight Princess. But I have it there. I need to play it. But finally, that I'm getting a break from school here, since I got one more week now that finals are coming up here next week. I'll be able to have time to finally actually go ahead and go into that game.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, hopefully you do. But all right. So let's talk a bit more about what the game itself. Like, I like the game. I
Hmm.
really, really do like the game. It's probably the only Zelda that I replayed like more than once.
Hmm.
Of course, that's mostly because it was one of the first Zelda I bought on my own. Like, I didn't have many games back then, so we just replayed it because I don't know, why not?
Sure.
But I do have complaints for the game.
Okay.
Like one of them being like the overworld.
Hmm.
Jesus, like that overworld is big, but I think it's big and for the wrong reasons.
Right.
I mean, it's just way too big for its own good, and there's really nothing around. Like nothing that you just go around in a very empty field. There aren't like enemies running around. Like if there were some like creatures, some animals running around trying to kill you, that would be cool.
At least
Like
it would make it interesting.
yeah, it would make
Right.
it more lively. Like at most, what you get are some random birds like when landed on you, or whatever
Hmm.
those enemies are called.
Hmm.
And I mean, there's this one part of the field that was used for that battle with a certain battle that
Hmm.
comes out early in the game, but it's never used again, and it's only that part of the field.
Right.
I believe it's used that field is used twice. Like again, not to spoil, but there's a score mission and there is a this battle with a certain enemy.
Hmm.
And other than that, you don't do much with that field. Like you just go around it. Like it's just really big and hard to get around.
Right.
Though there's quick travel when you unlock it, so that's always good. You won't
Yeah, of
really have to go
course.
through a lot. And another one, well, of course, this is reduced to the version I played. The graphics look a little muddy. Do you know what I mean?
They're grainy. Yeah.
Yeah, like the art style is good, but everything else looks just super like dark.
Yeah, and I think that's what they were trying to go with in this one, dude, because that's what
Well,
I did notice.
no, I mean, like take Majora's Mask for example.
Uh-huh.
That game's dark, but you don't see it being like everything else being dark as well, like super.
Yeah, but that one is more like a colorful dark, if that makes any sense. So there's still a lot of color to it, but it's still dark, you know?
Yeah,
But Twilight Princess, I think they were trying to go for like a dark and like even gloomy and depressing look, if that makes any sense.
I say they were, but there's a lot of moments like in the game that look just feel out of place
Yeah.
when you see that style.
Hmm.
And well, I mean, other than that, those are my only complaints, I guess. Well, okay, if I had to add something else, is some items that you don't really use much. This probably has the most worthless items. You know full well the ones I'm talking about. There's two. One's the cane, which makes you bring statues back to life,
Uh-huh.
and the other one is
I hated
the
that thing, by the way. I hated it so bad.
what?
The cane, I hated it so bad. It was just annoying, dude.
And the other one, which was probably one of the most fun items to use in the game, is the top. What was it called?
Yeah, I think it was just called a
It had a name. It has two-word name. I don't know what it was called though.
it's something Dominion, wasn't it? Or
No, that's the Dominion rod.
oh no, yeah, I was thinking of the rod. What the hell was it called?
I see. We don't remember.
It's a
Cause
spinner. It's just a spinner.
oh yeah, you're right. It's a spinner. You're right. That's what it's called. And you used it in one temple, and that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Again, I'm not really spoiling anything by saying the spinner, but I will say that's a fun item to use, and you will find out why.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a really fun item, which sadly sees no use outside of that temple.
Hmm.
Or more like you can't really use it outside the temple because there's really nothing to do with it.
No, there
Uh,
really isn't.
so yeah. Also, I noticed. Well, leaving the complaints. I mean, I like the characters in this game.
Hmm.
I like
They're
all.
all mostly unique.
I like most of the characters. Like I know a lot of people go for this one, but I'm not going for her. You everyone knows what I'm talking about. I'm not going for Midna. I like Midna though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's probably my second like partner, the second favorite partner.
Uh huh.
I'll probably explain later what the first one is. But another character that who is my favorite in this game is this little kid. He's called Malin. Malin.
Yeah. Uh huh.
This little kid. Oh my god, this little kid. He's amazing. I mean, you probably won't know unless you play the game, but you people need to play the game and see what Malin's like.
Hmm.
As you progress through it, you'll find stuff about him, as not in story wise, but more like as to what he does.
Right.
So there's also this other like strangely wacky characters for what the game is doing,
Hmm.
and then there's your well, I want to say love interest, but it's probably not. Ilya, I believe is her name.
I think so. Yeah. It's hard to remember all these characters'
Yeah,
names.
there's a lot of people. Again, I remember
Yeah.
Malin because he's my favorite, but
Yeah.
let's like I also like the story a little bit. I mean, I hate adding more like to the pile of stuff that I dislike, but they're very minor things. So
Hmm.
it's the beginning of Twilight Princess. I don't like it too much when you're in the farm,
Hmm.
but I like it story wise. Like you're just this random rancher kid,
Uh huh.
and you just live in normal life, and then suddenly everything changes when you get turned into a wolf,
Right.
and the whole area is covered in this strange darkness. But okay. So I guess in conclusion, I like this game. I'm just kind of rambling along, but
No, no, and one thing that I that we haven't talked about that I liked about this game is the armors, like the Zora armor.
oh
I
right,
thought the Zora armor is badass, dude. When I first
yeah.
saw that, I was like, "Whoa, this looks cool."
Oh
Um, I like that
oh,
one a lot. And then they have what was the other one called? The
I don't
magic
know.
armor?
Yeah, the one that concerns your rupees.
Yes, that one.
Oh man, hey. So when you got that the Sora armor, man, I bet you couldn't wait for to get the Goron armor.
I know, dude. I was like, "Where's the Goron armor at? Where's the Kokiri armor?" Oh wait, I'm wearing the Kokiri armor.
Yeah, yeah. Your expectations were destroyed because of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, exactly, dude. But no, I thought that Zora armor looked badass, dude. I was
Yeah,
pretty impressed with it.
it did. You really didn't have to take it off.
No, I didn't actually. After I had that on, I was like, I'm keeping it.
Yeah, I'm very stingy with like the character clothes, so I usually just put on the normal clothes again. It would probably would have been easier if I just put the Sora armor on, but nah. I like the normal clothes. Okay, so what else do you gotta say about this game? I mean, it's a fun game. Again, oh
Dude,
wait,
well, go ahead.
oh sorry, I had to add something else. Is remember those techniques? I remember you were talking about it, but I would like just to add that the techniques were all super cool.
Oh yeah, they were, dude. I thought all the techniques were super cool. The techniques that are taught to you, those are pretty awesome.
Yes. All right. So, but what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, dude, the other thing that I really liked about this game was the actual the dungeons. I thought the dungeons on this game were really really fun, dude.
Hmm. So my memory fails me whenever it comes to dungeons, because I
Hmm.
never really remember the specific layouts, just the look.
Hmm.
Because puzzles aren't really like for me to remember.
Hmm.
Can you remember a specific dungeon that you like?
Well, I remember a few of them. Obviously, there's. Let me see if I can remember a few of them off the top of my head too, because like you said, there was. I think first of all, was this the one that had the most of them? I think there was one that had the most dungeons ever in a game, but I can't remember if it was this one or the other one.
I think I believe this one had seven.
So normally it's about what, six is what they carry. So they had one extra
Well,
dungeon than the other one.
kind of because Ocarina of Time had nine. No, wait, it had eight. Yeah, it had eight.
Did it really?
Not counting the last because you get the first three with the stones, and then you get five with the medallions.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, so this one obviously had the forest temple, right?
So what was the item you got after you got the first three dungeons in Twilight Princess?
Let's see. Maybe if I remember the dungeons, because it was the forest temple, the first one, and then from the forest temple, it was the Goron mines, where I'm not gonna spoil what items you get, but yes, you get something. I mean, is it okay if I say it? Do you think that matters if I say what
Yeah.
items you get in the den?
Uh, nah.
Okay,
I don't really think it matters too much for
so
the early
the
items.
the forest temple is definitely the boomerang, the Gale boomerang, the one with the little twist around it.
Yeah.
The Goron mines, if I'm not mistaken, that was the boots, right?
I
The heavy boots.
actually no. No, you
No,
get
what
those
was it?
boots. You get those boots from the mayor in Autumn Village.
Oh, so it was the bombs then?
No, you get the arrows, the bow and arrows.
Ah, you're right. Yes. Okay. And then you get the lake bed temple, where I think that's either the spinner is in there or the hook shot.
Yeah, it'll be the claw shot. Yes.
And then the arbitrator's grounds. That's I believe the spinner.
Yeah, that'll be the fourth temple, I think.
Yes. Yes. And then there's Snow Peak ruins. I mean, I could go on with the items, but Temple of Time,
I
City in the
remember now.
Sky,
Yeah, it's
Palace
seven
of
temples.
Twilight,
It's seven
and then
temples.
Hyrule Castle. Yep.
Yes, it's seven temples. So yeah, this game has seven.
hmm
So well, all right. So what's your overall opinion of the game?
Overall opinion, dude. I love the game. I think obviously I want to replay it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought the game again for the Wii U. So I definitely want to replay the game, and I will be replaying the game. But yeah, I love the game, dude. It's one of my, like I said, it's very dear to me because I played this one. This was my first Wii U game.
Hmm.
This was also not Wii U, excuse me. This was my first Wii game, and this was also during Christmas time. And I always like playing games like this during the holidays like that. So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's why I like this game.
Hmm. And I'll say I like it too. I really do like it despite its faults. Uh, and I really want to get the game as well, but I'm going to wait for the possible price drop that's going to come because I don't believe I need to pay that much money for this remake.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure you believe the same, but you really like this game too much.
I do. I like this game, and I wanted the amiibo.
Of course. So, and that's it for Twilight Princess. So, what comes next?
All right. So the next game, well, I'll say the next two games. I hope you don't kill me because I think you like these games. But the
Hmm.
next two games are basically the ones on the DS.
Oh,
So
those the ones that came next?
those are the ones that came next after that one. Yes.
Hmm.
So the next one, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It was either what was it? Phantom Hourglass. That's what it was. Phantom Hourglass was next.
Phantom Hourglass. Yes, it was the game that came out on DS.
Yes.
So, okay, so this game was very different. This was the most different game ever released in a Zelda
And I
for
think,
Zelda.
and maybe that's why I don't like it, man. Maybe it's because it's steered so far off of the normal that I was just like,
Yes, actually, well, it does. It really does go a bit too far in terms of what the game is.
hmm
But I will say this: I really did like that. I like that. Okay, so let's get back into let's from the beginning. The game is
hmm
set after Wind Waker. This is set after you
hmm
live. Okay, so I guess it's spoilers, but I'll just say that after the quest is over in Wind Waker,
hmm
and you're kind of hanging out with this one character, who then gets turned into stone, and suddenly you're in this other world, like completely different world. Like
hmm
it's a lot like with Link's Awakening. You wake up in a different area, and you find this. No wait, that's Spirit Tracks, and you are found by this guy called Lineback, who has his own Stin ship,
hmm
and from then you're supposed to go through that huge temple. I forget what the place is called. The Tower of I don't know. Well, basically you had to go through the temple multiple times every time you finish the dungeon.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yes,
because
that
I'm trying to remember the game, but now I'm remembering as you tell me that. Yeah,
yes. So this game, that was not a good part of the game because you had to go through the temple multiple times.
a lot of
That
backtrack.
Yes, that being said, you got stronger every time. So whenever you went back, you had different items which gave you shortcuts, which was cool. I
hmm
mean, I like that.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm skipping what's the most important change or difference, which is the touchscreen. You move completely by using the touchscreen. Like you just tap the screen, just leave the stylus there, you move
hmm
around with Link. You swing the stylus, you swing your sword, you poke, you also poke characters.
You like jab, yeah.
Yeah, and you roll by. Oh shit! Oh man, that audio spike. And you roll by doing rolling motions to in the edges of the screen, which was crap. That was horrible.
Right.
Man, that was bad. But other than that, I really can't say I remember much of the story itself. I can tell you that I loved sailing in that game.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, that's the only thing that I did like about it because it was just, it was that Wind Waker feel when you were sailing like that. You still had the ability to go ahead and, you know, shoot your cannons out of the ship and all that good stuff. You had a map on the top screen where everything was on there, and you can
Hmm.
basically set a. Okay, so I thought this was cool. You can set a trail of where you're going, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and the ship would just follow that trail for you.
Hmm.
So I thought that was cool.
Yes, that was an improvement over the original Wind Waker, though
Right,
it's not that much better after the Wind Waker re-release.
right.
It's still better than what Wind Waker had. And again, it also uses the same. Obviously, it uses the same visuals as Wind Waker. Obviously, they had to. It's the DS, so they couldn't do anything too crazy with it.
Oh, and I just remember the name of that temple you have to keep going to. Temple of the Ocean King, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
yes, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. That's the name of the temple.
You have to keep coming back to that temple and just make sure that you fill up the phantom hourglass.
Yes, and you get more time. That's the whole thing about it. Like you went back to it every time you beat a temple, and you got more time to go through it.
Yes, and every time you did go back though, at the same time you have to make sure you avoid the phantoms.
Yes.
So I remember the phantoms now, and then there were safe zones scattered throughout the temple that
Hmm.
allows you to stay safe from the phantoms from them actually killing you. Because one
Yes.
one hit with those phantoms and you're dead.
Yes. That's basically it. And well, again, I can't really say much. All I can say that this is the strange game of the series. I liked it, though I wasn't that big of a fan of it.
Yeah, me either.
Not in the slightest. Like, well, I was a fan, but not quite. It's hard to.
Right.
My relationship with this game is weird because I absolutely adored this game when it came out. Like, I did get a bit tired of it after playing it for a bit,
Hmm.
but there were so many new neat inclusions like that you couldn't do anywhere else.
Hmm.
My favorite by far, which I mean, if you haven't played the games, I'm not going to bother because you're likely not gonna play them at all. There was this little neat detail where like you find this map and I'm looking at it. What the hell am I supposed to do with it? So suddenly I realized something. I look at the map that's placed on the bottom screen and then the
Hmm.
map on the top screen and I wait. So I close my DS and I open it and like and then you hear the whole sound, when you find a secret,
Yes.
and basically the map on the top screen got marked on the bottom screen.
Yes, exactly.
That was one of the best. That was one of the best shit ever. Like I
Yeah,
still
dude.
remember that moment alone was like what sold me on this game. Like okay, they're doing a lot of cool things with this, and then there were some items that were done so well, like the boomerang.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
I'll agree
much.
with that one.
It's
It
so
was
much.
awesome.
Yes, it's so much better than in any other game.
You can make it
Because you,
go basically wherever you wanted to make it
yeah,
go.
no, you can literally make it go anywhere. Like
Literally. Hmm.
just draw the line, and it'll go that line.
It'll follow the line.
It is the best thing ever. And again, the story isn't much. It's just basically you're trying to save that character that got turned to stone
Hmm.
with the help of Lineback, who he's a lot like Midnight in the way that he becomes a better character as time goes along. He
Hmm.
improves. He's just a really cool guy.
Yeah, because he's a real jerk at the beginning.
Oh yeah, he's just interested in treasure and whatnot.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I like that kind of character. I didn't think you would get a partner like that. I mean, he lets you use his steamboat, so what can you really say?
Is that right?
So okay, so my overall thoughts, I like it enough. It's a
Yeah.
fun game.
Overall thoughts for me is that I liked it then. I'm not so much of a fan of it now for some reason. I don't know. It took a weird twist. Speaking of twists, the next one that we're going to talk about though is going to be even weirder if you ask me. So I like the next one even less.
What? Really? Well,
Yeah.
you know what? To be fair, that's what a lot of people say. Actually, I like this one better than Phantom Hourglass, which the next one, which released actually 2 years later, it's Spirit Tracks.
Hmm.
This one's set 100 years after Phantom Hourglass.
Yeah, literally 100 years afterwards. So I thought that was pretty cool that they still implement the storyline really good like that, or the timeline, I should say.
Fuck. Not only the storyline, one of the characters is still alive.
Right. Yeah.
Let's just say that one of the characters from the Wind Waker lives on in this one, and
Which is weird because it's 100 years later.
well, I guess we get to see the life expectancy for everyone in Hyrule.
I guess so. At
They
that
live
point, that
long.
tells you. Yeah.
He's probably took care of himself real well. Okay.
And he was the only one in that game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that I
Yep.
remember.
Well, okay. So about this game, there's a lot of characters that were in Wind Waker, but mostly as their descendants.
Yes.
Like, also you start with you start off with Link, normal character, but you start wearing this like what do you call it, like conductor outfit,
Yes.
which is your normal outfit because you're training to be one of the conductors for the kingdom.
Hmm.
Because they build the tracks as a way to travel, as a means to travel the place. So here's
Hmm.
the thing about this game, which I'm pretty sure this is the main reason why most people don't like it. You have to travel via train. Like that's the overworld.
All the time.
Yes. Well, unless you stop places, but you basically had to go through the train tracks to go anywhere, and then you had to be careful not to crash with other trains which are trying to kill you,
Yes.
and stuff like that. It was a little annoying, but honestly, I kind of enjoy that. Honestly, I don't
I,
mind it
I
much.
hated that, dude. I hated that so bad.
I really don't dislike it as much as you make it sound like. I don't think it's
Yeah.
that bad because everything else was pretty cool. There were clear improvements over the previous game. Like instead of having to make circles at the edge of the screen, you just had to tap the screen
Yeah.
and you did it. Now instead instead of poking the enemy like poking directly, you just slash with your sword towards the enemy and you poke. So there are little improvements like that made better. It
Mm.
also it's the fact that it has my favorite companion of any Zelda game,
Hmm.
which okay, so the whole story revolves around Link, well, doing his exam, like going to Hyrule where he's going to be given a certificate for becoming a conductor,
Hmm.
and then Zelda tells him to meet him, and they sneak out and go into this place called like this one tower. Damn it! See, I can't remember the names of these places. There's
Those
there's this.
towers.
Huh?
I remember the tower. I just can't remember the name either.
The point is that there's this tower in the very middle of Hyrule. It divides the whole world.
Hmm.
And
Tower of Spirits.
yes, you're right, Tower of Spirits. And you go to this tower to basically find out what's going on because something is wrong with the world.
Hmm.
And then there's this one guy who's the Chancellor. Turns out he's an evil guy. He was hiding his horns under that hat. I
Hmm.
mean this literally. He was literally hiding horns under his hat. And it's fucking hilarious.
What was his name? Chancellor Cole, or am I
Yes,
thinking of someone else?
Chancellor
Yeah.
Cole. And then this cool ass guy with this claws as a hand, who beats the guy who was training you basically easily, and then he just knocks Link out. At this point, Link is wearing the hero clothes because he was sneaking in. Classic
Hmm.
Zelda shit that gives you clothes. And from there, it's your job to fix the tower spirits because for some reason the tower got split into pieces.
Hmm.
Well, probably because of Cole's magic, and you just had to go around, around the temples and getting everything back.
Hmm.
But you're not alone because you're accompanied by the best partner ever, which is Zelda herself. Like Zelda goes along with you, and she helps you a lot.
Yep. She actually was very helpful.
Yes, she was the most useful character in this game. Like,
She is the most useful and the most helpful. Okay, so I'll give it that. She is the most useful and most helpful character in any game I've ever played, ever.
okay,
She
so
actually, the partner actually does something. Let's put it that way.
yes, she does a lot. She does a lot with this game. She's the descendant of a certain character you probably know in Wind Waker, and it shows because she's this spunky girl.
Hmm.
She's not like every other Zelda. Like one of my problems also with Twilight Princess is that Zelda was born as hell.
Yeah, she was. She was.
She
She
looked
was
cool.
emo.
She looked cool, but she was just
Hmm.
boring.
Mhm.
And just and here is the weird thing. People don't really talk about this game, but there was a relationship happening between like Link and Zelda.
Mhm.
There was a clear thing happening. Like they were clearly getting closer as the more they travel.
Right.
Which I'm not gonna spoil. It was a very clear. There was a very clear sign of that at the end of the game. And I'm pretty sure you never finished this game. So,
No, I did finish it.
oh, you did?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I finished
Okay.
it, and it
So
was again the boss fight at the end was ridiculous. I thought it was stupid.
I love that boss fight,
I
especially.
hated it, dude.
I loved it because it made you use both screens, and I
Yeah,
like
not
that.
because it was harder, because it was easy, because it was a ridiculous concept of a boss.
Okay. And then the very last part where like when you had to use Zelda, and you had
Yeah,
I don't want to spoil this because this is a really cool
I
bit.
know. It's hard not to spoil stuff. I'm telling you.
But I'll say that this is one of the coolest bits in Zelda ever. Like, let's just say that you used music,
Hmm.
and again just really cool. Oh man, I really want to. I actually been replaying that game.
Oh, you have?
Yes, just to get to that part because
Oh, wow.
I fucking love that part so much. Well, I mean, I like the game in general. So there's also the thing. You also get more items in this game. A
You
lot of
do.
it, a lot of it touchscreen based. You get this cane which allows you to control sand,
Hmm.
which again it's sad you can't really use it anywhere else. Sad.
Hmm.
I believe you also get this leaf, just kind of like in Minish Cap,
Yep.
and other stuff like that. Oh, and then there's the Tower Spirits. It's
Hmm.
basically the Temple of the Ocean. It said that this
Yeah.
time you get to go through the floors as they come along. It's divided in sections instead of you going through the whole thing.
Hmm.
And here's what Zelda becomes useful because you can actually use her to do stuff. Like you can possess the phantoms, which were the big baggers in the original game, and you can use her to do different things. Like you can help Link reach certain places, hit switches,
Hmm.
defeat other phantoms, and just the whole thing was cool. It was actually pretty funny because how Zelda reacted whenever she got into Phantom the first time, and the
Yeah.
and the Phantom is like looking so well. They look like these big manly characters. It looks so they look so feminine whenever Zelda gets scared. I think there was a really dumb thing in this one's that I think she scared mice.
Yeah.
Something
Yes,
like.
and yep, that's exactly right.
Okay, so I was right. That was dumb. That was the only dumb thing that I really like. God damn it, why?
But that brought out the personality of how Zelda is, though. She's a very girly girl that's still trying to be all this spunky and super brave, but she's afraid of mice.
Yeah, because she has everything. That's why I like this Zelda. This is also my favorite Zelda ever. I fucking love her. That's also the other reason I play this game.
Hmm.
She follows just a ghost and shit. And what can I say? Like temples are a lot like what Fan and Hourglass were. Let's be fair. It was
Yeah.
2 years later, and they used the same engine to build this game. And this was the last game that came out like this because I guess people didn't like it. I like the changes. I like that they went for something completely different. Though they didn't stop there. They decided to go for something off the fucking wall with the next game because I'm pretty sure I can stop here and
Hey, dude.
say, oh, what?
Hey, dude. Sorry, cut the show real quick. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Okay, 30 minutes. I can just look for this. Oh well, I entire shit.
Hey, you there, dude?
Sup?
All right, sorry, dude. I don't know if my dog was attacking my other dog or if the neighbor's dog was attacking each other, but I just heard a lot of yelping.
Huh.
So that's why I ran outside real quick just to separate the dogs to make sure it
Oh,
wasn't my
okay.
dogs.
Oh, so everything alright?
Yeah, everything's cool. I just heard that, and then the neighbors like to complain about the dogs, so I was like, I don't want to hear anything about it. So I
Okay.
went out there and just separated them real quick.
Okay. Hey,
All right, my
so...
bad, dude.
No, it's okay. Hey, so where do you even record this?
Huh?
Where do you even record this?
Where do I record this?
Yeah.
I don't.
No, no, no. Well, where are you when I record this shit?
Oh, I'm in my room.
Oh, you record this in your room.
Yeah,
Oh,
my
because
game room.
yeah, because I'm always like thinking like, oh man, probably bothering his wife when hearing our random blabbering about video games.
Oh no, she's not even here. She's at work right now.
Oh well then. Right,
All
so okay, let's see.
right, cool. Sorry, bro.
That's fine. All right, so I guess I can think of. Okay, if I had to add anything before I move on, I'm just gonna destroy my obvious segue and say that I really like this game. I mean,
Mhm.
it's not. I don't think it's the best game in the series, but I certainly do like it.
It's one of
And
your tops for sure.
yes, I really like it. Hey, I actually like it more than Majora's Mask, so that's something.
Yeah.
And you don't think too much of it, I guess.
No, I don't, dude. I'm sorry.
Not
It's
well.
just, yeah, it's just the whole. I mean, the bosses, man. And I think what got me the most is like when you're on the spirit tracks on the tracks, and then like there's other quote unquote evil trains coming at
Yes.
you. I was like, what? That makes no sense. I was like, that just got me. That's what turned me off about the game, dude. To
Well,
be honest with you.
well, it made sense in the context of the story, but it
Yes.
was bad in the terms that it wasn't too fun to try to evade them. You
Hmm.
didn't have. Well, I guess you didn't have any literal leg room to move away from them.
Hmm.
So yeah, I can see why that wasn't fun.
But other than that, it was cool.
Okay, sweet. So let's move on to one that's even more controversial than those. Shit. You know, it's probably the most controversial game in this series by far, bar none. Even worse than Zelda 2. I don't think people think Zelda 2 is terrible anymore.
I don't think so either anymore,
No,
dude.
not by any means. So, okay, let's get like that over with. The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, the game that everyone hates, or so it seems. Okay, so first of all, let's start. What is your opinion on this game?
Yeah,
I'm actually not sure anymore because I remember when we got the game, you liked it. It
I
seemed
did.
that you liked it.
I liked it, but it just had its little annoyances, like here and there.
Go on.
For example, the fact that I get tired if I start running, I think that was stupid. So you have a stamina that you have to worry about.
Well,
Uh,
to be fair, this is the first time you actually run in a Zelda game.
yes, that's exactly where I was headed with that too. But that's the first time you run. Okay, that makes sense. But my stamina is going to run out as well when I'm climbing. I thought
Well,
that made me mad.
that makes sense as well.
It makes sense. Again, it makes sense if you're putting it in real life perspectives. Yes, it makes sense. And then I like that they have those little green things that if you grab one of those, then
Yeah.
your stamina refills. So
Yes.
that was cool. The second thing that I didn't like about it is I forgot what those realms are where you have to collect those little items.
Yes.
That was annoying. I hated those. Those were so stupid. I remember getting like to where I was almost done with them, and then I die, and I have to start all over again. That would piss me off.
Yeah.
Um, what was the other thing there that I'm trying to remember? There was one more thing here, but when I remember, I'll bring it back up. But I mean, I thought the concept was cool. You're flying, you get your bird, and you're traveling to other places by flying. You get to a certain area, and then you can go ahead and travel by walking, and get into your certain destinations that way. But dude, aside from that, I don't see the sword. That's what I was gonna say. Using the Wiimote to actually control the sword, that was a cool concept because I was like, yeah, I get to actually control the sword and blah blah. After a while, it gets really boring and really and tiring. And then just like if I remember being able to take down the Deku Scrub, just like or not a Deku Scrub, but Deku Baba with no problem at all. But these ones have four segues to their mouth, so you got to slice in the right way to make sure you kill them.
Hmm.
I was like, no. But aside from that, dude, I enjoyed the game. The dungeons were cool. The plot was understandable and cool as well. I liked it.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with the bad because this game does have bad things.
Hmm.
As you said, I believe those parts were like basically you trying to get the Master Sword, if I'm correct.
You're correct. Yes.
So those were annoying. Like I like the first one. It included this element of stealth. I like to say.
Hmm.
Also, like you had to be fast and efficient to get everything quickly.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's cool. But then you had to do it not only two more times, which is usually the basics, but I believe you do it four times.
Yes.
You do it. I believe you do it four fucking times, and that's annoying.
You're right.
Yeah, you do have to do it one more time in Skyloft.
Hmm.
So yeah, no, I was annoyed by that. Also, another thing, it's very minor, but the flying to an extent.
I like the flying part, to be honest with you.
I mean, I like flying, but the way you flow, you were flying, you flew.
Hmm.
I mean, the fact that you had to do that, I don't like doing that too much.
Hmm.
Again, this is only myself. Oh, and what is that enemy that you had to keep killing?
The one that you have to. Oh,
The fuck.
the big old thing, right?
Yes.
The darkness. The what was it? The ah, and then I'll remember here very shortly. But yes, I know exactly who you're talking about too.
The imprison.
The imprison. Yeah, there you go.
The
I know it's the
imprison.
something.
Yes, I remember now. So yeah, the imprison, and you had to. And again, I'm going to. It's not gonna be very spoiler, but I'm going to say it because you're not gonna like it whenever it happens. So you might as well get the number of times you get it. You had to fight it three times,
Yep.
and each time is worse than the last.
Yep. And more annoying than the last.
Yeah, and I guess that's basically it. As you said, I really enjoyed this game. It was also a
Hmm.
long game.
Hmm.
Yeah, it it feels like it was like. Also, I guess I had to say like this was different. This was a different game, and a lot of people like to say it's bad because of these reasons, but it's. I just want to say it's different.
Hmm.
The game was linear as shit. It was very linear,
Hmm.
but it was more focused on that end.
Yep.
You did like you everything you had in mind, like you just went and did it according to what the character said and whatever.
Hmm.
Because okay, going to the story real fast. You're just a normal person who lives in the sky for whatever reason, and you have this love interest who's Zelda, who's not a princess in this one.
No, she's not for once.
Yeah, and she gets kidnapped. Kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. In fact, she only gets kidnapped for a little bit, and then she's not.
And then she's not kidnapped.
Yeah, but basically, the next thing you have to do is save the world. In a
Hmm.
nutshell, with the help of Fee, which is the spirit that lives in this sword,
Hmm.
the goddess sword, if I'm correct,
Hmm.
and which you can then evolve into the sword that we all know, which is the Master Sword.
Hmm.
I want to say it's a spoiler, but this game is set in the past, so nah, it's really
Well,
nothing.
let's put it this way. It's not really a spoiler because it's all over the internet, but basically, this is the first game in the Chronicle. This is the very first one.
Yeah, it's the first game, and you'll easily realize it the moment you look at the box.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's not gonna be anything that you're gonna be spoiled on because it's pretty obvious.
Exactly.
So we both got this game when it came out, right?
Yes, we did.
This is actually the first Zelda I got it on release. Again, because I didn't have money. I had money at this time now.
Hmm.
Like I bought it as soon as it came out. I pre-ordered it and I got the special edition, which gave me my cool ass golden remote.
Oh, dude, I love that. Yes,
Yeah, you still
and
have it, I
this
bet.
and the yes and the soundtrack.
Yeah, which it wasn't anything special, but it was a neat edition.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what I like about this game? Well, I like the motion controls. The motion controls were cool. I
I
like
didn't
that.
like that, dude. Like I said earlier, that's the part that I mean, I liked it at first because I thought, "Ooh, cool," but then after a while, it gets tiring, and not in the sense where I physically get tired. I just get annoyed by it.
Mm, I mean, I like that you there was a strategy to every enemy pretty much.
Hmm.
Like there's the spiders that you had to turn around and then just hit them.
Yeah.
There's of course the Dekubabas which you had to hit certain ways. There's also
Hmm.
certain enemies which who put their swords in certain directions to attack you. And you just hit
Yeah.
in that opening.
Hmm.
There was also some of the coolest enemies which were these big guys who have the shield. Like you can break it slowly with your sword, or when they put it down, you run after the freaking thing and you just jump behind it and attack them.
Yep.
That
This
was
also has one of the creepiest. Well, I don't know if you would consider him a boss, but he is a pretty important character, Graham.
Gerhin, yes.
Yeah, he's the creepiest one since Zant, because Zant was pretty crazy himself too back in Twilight Princess. But Graham is pretty creepy himself.
Well, and I'll just say his fate is a little bit unknown. What happened to him? Like, okay, so I'm not going to
You're
spoil
right.
anything, but
Hmm.
let's just say that his fate remains a mystery
Hmm.
to this day.
Hmm.
Maybe we'll get something, but I'll just say that he's an important character, just as Fee is an important character.
Hmm. Exactly.
Yes, and we're likely going to see him again to some extent.
Yep.
Okay, I'm actually looking forward to that. Okay, so what else can I say about this game? I like Bruce. I fucking love Bruce.
Cruz is funny, dude.
He's
It's
amazing.
a
Okay, so Bruce is this character who starts off as this bully guy, but he's like a very silly bully. You know, this kind of people who usually say dumb shit, but ends up being lovable because of it. And his team is amazing.
hmm
Bruce's team is the best thing and should be played in every Zelda. See, this is what it should. This is what Tingle should be. This should be a cool side character who, again, he's silly but he's fun.
Yeah.
Get rid of Tingle, please. And there is also Impa, I believe. She's called Impa, right? In this
Yeah.
one. So the Impa in this game is super cool.
Input tripped me out, dude. It's just I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the whole part like almost towards the end, dude,
Oh,
that
that's super
tripped me
cool.
out. It tripped me out, dude. I was like, oh my god, no way. Like that was one of the moments in Zelda, because you have your moments in Zelda like where you're just like, oh my god, are you serious? And that was one of them right there.
Yes, that was a great moment. And let's
Yeah,
just say there. Nah, even saying what that concept
yeah, yeah,
is a
yeah.
spoiler. So
It
I'll
is.
just
I
say
was this whole time I was trying to think of a way not to spoil it. I was like, nope, there's no way. I'd
well,
say Impa has a very big role in this game.
yes, let's just say that it's a concept that has been applied to Zelda before,
Hmm.
but it's also a concept that's not overplayed.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's actually very minor when you think about it.
Yep.
So,
When you think about it that way, but your mind will still be blown in a sense.
yes, it will be. Because you did not expect this kind of turn to happen.
Exactly.
In fact, it comes off as a complete surprise when you get to it.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's another good thing about it.
And
So,
it's kind of sad at the same time if you think about it.
it
I
is.
remember that I was kind of sad about it. I was like, oh, but then, and I was like, no,
Yeah,
that poor
yeah,
thing.
it's a sad moment.
Yeah, it is.
Alright, so Eric, be honest with me. What are your general thoughts on this one?
So my general thoughts, it's a good game. It's fun. It's still fun. It's
Mm-hmm.
still something that I would replay again.
Mm-hmm.
Which um, actually I haven't done any more videos on this, but I started to. I think I told you I started to play a little bit with my brother, and we're doing a couple of episodes with him involved, but because he's never played the game, so I played it, so I wanted him to play it so he can go ahead and take a look at it because I'm sure when he gets to certain parts like that, I just want to see the reaction on his face.
Okay, is he the kind of people that hates motion controls?
So far, he's not fond of them because we got we got to the point where we haven't reached the first temple yet, but because we just recently started playing. But when he got to the Deku Babas, he's like, "What the hell? What's going on?" I told him, "You got to figure it out." I didn't want to give him too many spoilers, or I
Okay.
wanted him to figure stuff out. When he figured it out, he's like, "God, that's kind of annoying." I was like, "Yeah, that's my thoughts on it too."
Hmm. Okay. Actually, looking forward to watching that. That would be
Yeah,
cool.
dude, I think it's gonna be a good one.
Okay. So, okay. So from here we can kind of go in a little. I want to say speed run, but now there's lightning round.
Hmm.
We're gonna lightning round because the last game is not really much, and also I haven't played this game.
Yeah, which I still want you to play that as soon as you can because it's an awesome game.
Okay, but all right. So I'm going to let you take it up here. Tell me, what do you think of Triforce Heroes, which is the game that came out last year for the
That one
3DS?
is the one that came out last year, yes. But if you don't mind, because I want to keep going in this chronological order that we've been going through. So since I played this game, I'm going to go ahead and talk about Link Between Worlds first.
Oh, right. I'm so sorry. I forgot that game. I actually
That's the one that I want you to play. I don't Triforce Heroes. I'll talk about my opinion on that one, but I want you to talk. I want you to play this game first.
all
This
right.
game is awesome.
So that's the whole thing. I have not played Triforce Heroes yet.
Hmm.
As I
And it's a good one, dude.
Yeah. So I probably stated this before, but I'm not a huge fan of the 2D Zeldas,
Hmm.
so I haven't picked this one up. I want to pick it up because I at least want to play every Zelda once.
Yes, and this is a 2D Zelda that you will not be disappointed with. So I'll tell you a little bit about it. So basically, you start off obviously once again with Link, and it starts it off kind of like Zelda: Link to the Past. You're the apprentice of a blacksmith. You remember
Mm-hmm.
that too from the first one,
Yeah.
and you're going to go deliver a sword to Hyrule Castle.
Mm-hmm.
You encounter a mysterious person, Yuga, who is basically a descendant of the sages of Seers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So basically, his thing is that he can go ahead and he uses his power to basically turn people into paintings.
Mm-hmm.
So then you of course you start seeing this happening, and you try to go ahead and stop him from turning someone into a painting, and you end up getting knocked out by that person.
Mm-hmm.
And you end up meeting a merchant. I think his name was Ravio, who gives you a bracelet in exchange for being allowed to stay for him staying in your home. So he helps you take you home, and then he asks you, "Hey, can I stay here?" Pretty much. But after you tell him what happens and all that, he tells you to go see Zelda and blah blah blah. Zelda gives you a pendant, and then basically Zelda gets turned into a painting herself. I mean, it's not really a spoiler because this all happens within like the first couple minutes of the game, so it's very up in the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Anyways, long story short, you end up having because you got the Triforce inside of you. You get to obtain an ability which everybody sees, even in the front cover of it, which is you can merge into walls by turning yourself into a painting, essentially yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
You basically go through a lot of the dungeons like you did in the original Zelda game, Link to the Past, but they're all redone in the way and in the form that fits the new thing or the new concept, which is to turn into the painting. So it all fits around that, and it works really, really, really well. Um, the other big thing is that individual that you allows to live in your house, Ravio, um, he ends up allowing you to go ahead and instead of always just having to look for these items in the temples, you're allowed to go ahead and actually rent these items from him. Essentially and eventually, you are allowed to also fully purchase them so that you don't have to actually go back to, if you die, you have to go back and re-rent them.
Mm-hmm.
Once they are yours, there's an upgrade system. You can go ahead and upgrade the items as well. Um, Also, let's see, what's another big one you don't have to go through the dungeons in a certain order. You can go to whichever dungeon you want first, and you can go ahead and start there because all the items are essentially available for rent. So you don't have to go in a certain order to go ahead and complete the game.
Mm. Wait, so does this have a scaling difficulty or are the
It
temples
it is
super easy?
No, they are not super easy and they're not super hard. I would say they're right in between. They're just right, and they're all just right. None of them are super hard. None of them are super easy.
Well, no, no, no. I mean, because if you're given temples like that in that fashion, wouldn't it require like then to be around the same difficulty each?
Yeah, sort of. Yes. The weird thing about this is that you don't notice it, even though each character, technically, if you go into one dungeon, you get to the boss. If you don't do it right, you'll die. But there is a recommended way to go about these temples, but it's not essential and it's not necessary. So yes, to answer your question, essentially, some of these temples are harder than the others.
Oh, okay. So that's a weird mishmash of difficulty.
It is. It is. And as an example, I'll just go ahead and say that one of the temples in the desert, I can't remember the name of it, but if you remember from A Link to the Past, there's a temple in the desert area.
Mm-hmm.
In the overworld, it becomes the swamp one. Oh, and that's how you basically go back and forth through the overworld. There's cracks on the wall. There's like glowy little cracks, and you go through it, and that takes you into the overworld. But the overworld one, the one with the swamp in the desert, that one is
Mm-hmm.
the most difficult one that I dealt with. And
Oh, okay.
yeah, that one was very difficult. So, I mean, personally speaking, I would recommend to do that one last. But you will enjoy this game once you do get your hands on it and play it. You will enjoy it. I know
Okay.
for a fact. Yeah, it's one of those games that is just very, very fun to play.
All right. So I just need to get through this huge backlog that I have. All right. So all right. So I guess we can go again. Now we can go to the lightning round. And
Lightning round. All right.
yeah. So you give me your overall thoughts on Spirit Track, which is the latest one.
Triforce Heroes, you meant to say.
Right. Ah, damn it. See, I'm already
You got
getting
Spirit
confused.
Tracks on your mind.
Damn it. Yeah, I really want to
uh,
play the game again.
so Triforce Heroes, dude. Okay, I was very excited to play this game, but it got annoying really quick. So first of all, you can't play with two people, right? You
Hmm.
have to play with three people. That's
Yeah.
the rule to that. If my brother comes over with the game, which he has, I still can't play with him. Or even find an unknown hero to play with online. It has to be three people with you at the same time, or three unknown people. That's it. You don't have any other choice.
So boring.
Uh, yeah, that is really dumb. So here's where it gets really annoying. If you don't play with competent players online, you're screwed. You're not going to get anywhere fast. So obviously, me, I'm a avid Zelda player. I know how some of these puzzles already work. But if you get in there with someone that doesn't know what they're doing, then you're not going to go ahead and progress anywhere fast at all.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's the problem that I run into. Sometimes I have to start the whole entire dungeon over again because this person doesn't know how to do it. Two of us know how to do it, but if one person doesn't know, the whole entire thing is screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where it gets annoying. You can guide them by picking them up and throw them where you want to throw them and tell them, hey, use an item. So you just start mashing the item button over and over and over again. Link's just yelling item, 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 item.
Hmm.
But sometimes they still don't get it. Um, the other thing is that in order for you to get so the big thing about this game is that you have these costumes, and the costumes grant you different abilities. For
Uh-huh.
example, there's a boomerang costume. So you get your boomerang. It's a little tiny boomerang, but if you wear the boomerang costume, the boomerang is a huge boomerang, and it's very helpful. So the costume upgrades are worth it. But here's another annoying part to it. In order for you to go ahead and get these costumes, you have to collect items and parts from these other dungeons.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's a quest to collect these items. And here's the annoying part to it. The items that you receive are received at the end of the dungeon after you complete the dungeon in a random order.
Oh
So if
shit.
you're yes, so if there's three people playing, two people are going to get shitty items, and one person's going to get the good item or
Oh
the good
no.
parts that you need. So you have to constantly replay these temples more than once in order for you to get that one good item that you want. Or
That is not
if you
good.
want, yes, that is,
That is fucking
dude.
terrible.
Yes, it is. So I like the game, dude. I like the concept. I like what they were trying to achieve with it, but it was just not done right. And
Mm.
that's just my personal opinion. And I didn't to be completely honest. I still need to go back to the game to finish it because I haven't finished it. And you know that I've had this game for a long time already.
Yeah, you have. You bought it at lunch, right?
I did. Yes,
Oh boy.
and I haven't played it because it just got to the point where I was just getting really annoying because I started getting progressing to the harder temples, and I'm a completionist when it comes down to collecting stuff. So as I'm not progressing to the other temples unless I have all the costumes already that are
Oh,
up to
good.
that point. Yeah, so I got to the point where I was just like hitting this one temple over and temple selection, by the way, to go to a temple in that certain world is also on the voting system. So if you know where the item is and you know that the item is in one certain temple, if the other two people vote for the other temple, you have to play the other temple. You
Oh
don't get
man.
to play the temple you want. So that's another annoying feature on this. So I'll have to go through this whole temple, and eventually, if you keep quitting, you'll be blacklisted, and then you won't get to be able to play with those people again. Which sometimes I don't mind, but it's
Okay,
just
so overall, you don't recommend this game.
I don't, dude. I really don't. I recommend it when it drops down to about $10 or less.
Oh boy, good luck with that.
Yeah,
Oh man. Well, I guess for this we can just look forward to what the new Zelda has in store.
that's what's next. That's what's
Yes,
next.
which is the Legend of Zelda, whatever title they come up with TC3.
The Legend of Zelda Open World.
Maybe. Oh, that would be an interesting name. But we were a little too on the nose.
Yep.
But man, I really don't know what to expect with that game. I hope it's good at least.
I hope, dude. I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know what you think. I really don't. It's a matter. I'm hoping, and I think, and you can probably back me up on this one. We will see a lot more footage this E3.
Yeah, certainly will. Uh, this is not even a guessing game. It's a fact that we're gonna get more footage.
Yes, we will have it. I believe very, very, very well that we will get a full trailer.
Yeah, trailer and a title drop.
Yes, I agree with you.
Hopefully, we get something cool like we got with the Ballad of the Goddess with Skyward Sword.
That was cool. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was one of the cool bits. So, just going in a nutshell, basically, you got this one song that is Zelda's Lullaby backwards. in
Mm-hmm.
places,
Mm-hmm.
which is a really nice musical addition. They need
Mm-hmm.
to do shit like that in other media more often.
Dude, I thought that was cool for it being backwards. You wouldn't think a song would sound so good still being played backwards and forward.
Hmm. So, I guess that's it for Zelda, huh?
That is it. We're all done with all the Zeldas. I
Yeah,
mean, we won't go into the CDI ones, but there was CDI games. But yeah, I never even touched
they were the
those. Those
best
don't
games.
count.
They were the best games ever.
You know what? You need to play it if you haven't played it, guys.
Wait,
And
which
you need to
ones?
watch all of them. And you need to watch all the anime episodes, the ones where the what was it? Well, excuse me, princess.
Man, I can't wait to eat some of the dongos.
Stupid.
I love those so much. Those videos alone are so worth those
Oh
games.
man. Yep.
Yeah, those games existed just for the memes.
Hmm. They were made just for that and
My
only
boy.
that.
Oh man, I watched way too many of those weird videos back in the day.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, man.
All right, but enough of that. I'd say we are going. That's going to be it for today. So these special casts are gonna be again special because they're not gonna be weekly.
Hmm.
They're gonna be in the rare occasion that we have a big ass topic to deal with.
Yeah, or like for example, another time we would do something like this is maybe like during E3 after an E3 airing.
Yeah,
That would be an E3 special right there. Is what we will do. So it's just special podcast like this will come
yeah,
up every once in a while.
yeah. And we'll record something like as soon as it's over.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, looking forward to that actually.
Hmm.
But with that being said, it's time for us to go, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday with the normal podcast.
We'll see you next time, guys.
See you guys next time.